The tranquility of the Kazakh countryside hides a dispute about who in the future will be allowed to own land. President Nursultan Nazarbayev wants to change the law to allow foreigners to rent agricultural land for 25 years. There's a 10-year limit now. He also wants land which is managed by the state to be sold or leased at auction. Protesters like Marzan Aspandiarova say Chinese investors will buy up the land. China shares a border with Kazakhstan and has been investing in its energy sector, roads and facilities.
It's Chinese government policy to actively populate countries. It's already happened in the West. It's crazy to think it won't happen in Kazakhstan. The Chinese conquest is happening right now. It's biological, economic and environmental.
In May, protests against land reform started in the western city of Atyrau and spread to 6 cities across the country. Dissent isn't tolerated in Kazakhstan and public criticism of the government is rare. Human Rights Watch said hundreds of protesters were arrested, including journalists. After the protests, Nazarbayev announced a year-long moratorium on land reform and set up a commission to review land policy. But protesters say they don't trust the government.
The Land Commission doesn't include civil leaders or activists opposed to land reform. It's made up of representatives from mayoral offices and other bodies linked to the government. It's propaganda.
The Kazakh government says state management of agricultural land has been ineffective and says the reforms will attract badly needed investment. Members of the Land Commission also say there's no need for people to worry.
The
head of the Commission is committed to fairness. He will allow all opinions to be heard. We will not sell the land before we've fully discussed it.
Land reform is a major issue in Kazakhstan, but it's not the only reason why people are angry with the government. Falling oil prices have led to job losses and a decline in living standards. The land reforms were to be introduced in July. The delay is a partial victory for protesters, but they worry that in a year's time Nazarbayev will drive through the reforms despite their objections. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.